Can you tell our audience, something about the first stand-up comic that you did?
It was horrible. मेरे मन में तो बहुत funny था मैं. Munawar and me, we started together. So we used to discuss jokes together. But then jail happened with him.
Okay.
मेरे से एक दिन पहले बस्सी आके perform करके गया था.
Okay.
He charged 8 lakh for it.
Oh.
मेरे को 8 रुपए भी नहीं दिया. But that's the best feeling ever for an artist, that people want you to be there and then just keep performing. That's the best feeling.
Hello and welcome to the next episode of JCL Podcast Bindass Bol. I'm your host Ruchita and super excited to have Rejoy with me today. By day he's a category manager and by night he transforms into a hilarious stand-up comedian. So sit back and relax and get ready for some unfiltered conversations and plenty of laughter. So Rejoy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What do you do at JioMart?
I'm a category manager. I am in the home care category, and under that I take care of the garden and outdoors.
Right. So I was going through your YouTube bio. It says that you are a dancer turned corporate professional turned stand-up comedian. That's quite a ride. So how this unexpected journey unfolded for you?
यार from like basically hailing from a small city, stand-up का कोई वहाँ पे scene नहीं था, कोई culture नहीं था. But I'm a very, like, I need something to get off my energy. So dancing was something that I really enjoyed. I started dancing, बहुत मजा आ रहा था, dance करने लगा. Then I came to Bombay for my MBA. Randomly just went for a show, Tanmay Bhatt's show. There was a shooting going on for AIB.
Wow.
I guess people might know.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so I went there, I saw the shooting, I saw the whole sketch that they were shooting, and it was a very good show. I felt कि यार ये this is something that I can do and that I do in my normal life. I make fun out of the most mundane things I do. So I was like, yeah, this is something I can do. I had a word with Tanmay after the show, post shoot. I went and met him, and I met with Rohan Joshi. He guided me a lot. Rohan Joshi told me a number of things कि कैसे start होता है, क्या करना होता है, कहाँ से चीजें start होती है, how the comedy career begins. I was like कि चलो ठीक है देखते हैं. Then again corporate happened, job आ गई. Then तो फिर I needed something to release my stress. That's how I went on stage. And then I realized कि जो मजा वो 5 मिनट स्टेज में रहने में, that's not compared to the 24 hours you spend any other way. So yeah, that's how comedy happened.
Wow, I think you are a living proof of how someone can turn their passion into a side hustle. And since you're talking about your first show, can you tell our audience, something about the first stand-up comic that you did?
It was horrible. मतलब silence can pierce your heart when you are on stage.
I can understand.
I will never forget that time. The eerie silence. मेरे मन में तो बहुत फनी था मैं. जो मैंने कॉपी में लिख के आया था कि भाई उस दिन लगा कि खत्म है आज, इंडिया विल बी गेटिंग अ न्यू स्टार टुडे. आई एम गोना किल द सीन. मैं गया, स्टेज पे चढ़ा, लोगों के मातम वाले चेहरे मुझे ऐसे देख रहे थे कि ये क्यों है यहाँ. I was like यार क्यों हूँ मैं यहाँ. That was but I guess वो सबके साथ होता है. You need to get past that fear of listening to the silences of your audience. And that's how you keep going on stage, you keep going, and then you keep doing it again and again, and then you keep improving. Eventually that silence turns into hilarious laughter and claps and everything, and that is something.
Right. So India का तो पता नहीं, but I definitely know that we have a star at JioMart for sure. And on that note, let me ask you my next question, which is what kind of comedy material do you see yourself being drawn to?
यार मेरे को ऑब्जर्वेशनल बहुत पसंद है. Like I observe a lot.
Right.
मैं हर नॉर्मल चीजों से मैं कुछ निकाल लेता हूँ कि वो मेरे लिए बहुत फनी हो जाता है कि यार ये तो लाइक नेक्स्ट लेवल है. एनेक्डोटल इज समथिंग दैट आई अगेन आई एम trying to explore because anecdotal थोड़ा सा observational थोड़ा ऐसा हो जाता है ना कि where you are like कि you see something, you tell something and you are done with it.
True.
Anecdotal is something where you have to craft a whole story. Like you started from this point, then you take it there, then you go it there, then there will be a low point, and then so it's a whole story writing. It's a more of a writing more, rather than being proper comedy.
Okay.
So that is something that I am exploring as of now. I have like another one and a half hours of material that is completely based on the stories on my childhood and what all fun, I don't know if I should call it fun, but what all musti we did as guys in the small town, in the limited resources that we had, and what all we did, the kind of insanity that prevailed during that time. So I have all those stories, hoping someday it will be out. Let's see.
See, I can relate to a few stand-up comedians that India has who do these kind of comedy, right? Or whether it's observational or anecdotal, and I totally enjoy watching some of them. And we would like to know, where do you draw your inspiration from? Are there any stand-up comedians who you secretly try to emulate?
यार कॉमेडी ना थोड़ा सब्जेक्टिव हो जाता है, ठीक है. व्हाट लाइक यू मे लाइक अ कॉमेडियन, ही माइट बी योर फेवरेट कॉमेडियन, दूसरे बंदे को पसंद नहीं आएगा, ठीक है. ऑल्सो ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि योर फेवरेट कॉमेडियंस वन जोक वुड बी योर बेस्ट, बट द अदर वन यू आर लाइक कि so it's very subjective. So that's why I do not really I do not draw inspiration from anyone. I do follow, but I really like Dave Chappelle. I really like adore his comedy. I think he has reached the peak.
Okay.
He is the epitome of comedy. What David Chappelle does, I feel nobody else can do. Another comic that I love is Jimmy Carr. The way he roasts people, the instant comeback that he has, he's God. He's God in roasting. And like literally his shows sell out for the first initial 5 seats because people want to get roasted by him. They feel privileged that Jimmy Carr has roasted us.
Okay.
That's the level he has, and great comedian. So that's how these are the two that I follow. Emulating someone, no. So audience has turned very smart today. Like they all follow all the comics, all the like they see each and everyone. They know how a certain comic talks. They know how a certain comic, body language, how he behaves, what's his style of talking. They know. So the moment somebody else does that, they will immediately fire on. They'll be immediately like, hey, you are doing this, hey, this, like that. Like even if you go to my YouTube video, you will see most of the comments are like, ये Zakir जैसा दिखता है, Zakir जैसा बात करता है. I'm like कि यार बात सी एक तो वो भी हो जाता है ना कि हम दोनों ऑलमोस्ट आसपास के शहर से, वहाँ बातें थोड़ी सी ऐसी होती हैं हमारा बोलने का. Yeah, that's how we talk. ठीक है, तो मैं बोला यार ठीक है चलो, if you do not like that, I can change my way of talking, but I cannot change how I look. वो तो अब ऐसे दिख रहे हैं तो दिख रहे हैं.
Rejoy, I can totally relate to what you just said because I happen to also follow a lot of these comedians like Anubhav Bassi, Abhishek Upamanyu, Gaurav Gupta. These are some of my favorites, even Zakir. And each one of them have their own unique style, which we can't compare. So have you ever had the opportunity to perform with any of these seasoned stand-up comedians?
Yeah, I was in Mumbai basically. So I started my journey in Mumbai. I was doing comedy in Mumbai. So जितने भी Mumbai-based comics हैं, mostly I have performed with everyone. जितने भी Delhi-based है, I could never get to perform there because Delhi-based वाले वो उनका एक अलग. So it's a circuit, lobby चलता है. Mumbai lobby, Bangalore circuit, Delhi circuit वैसा. So yeah, Mumbai circuit में I have opened for Abhishek Upamanyu. I have opened for Basti. I have done lineup shows with Samay Raina. I have done lineup shows with Zakir. I have done shows, I'm forgetting names, but I have done with Vipul Goyal. Humorously, he's a great comic. Yes. Kamra, I have done with Kunal Kamra. He's a great friend of mine. And I also am a very, I've done most of my shows with Munawar.
Okay.
Yeah, Munawar and me, we started together. So we used to discuss jokes together. But then jail happened with him.
Okay, that's a little controversial.
So now he is a really famous comic. But yeah, I have done mostly with all those people.
Alright, so next time I need a selfie with one of these guys, I know who to reach out to.
Yeah, you can have the number.
Okay. And on that note, I think every stand-up comedian has their own unique moments. So what has that moment been for you? Any memorable moments or reactions that you ever got when you were performing?
Yeah, 2022 Mood Indigo tha. That was by far the best day. I can relive that day a number of times. So Mood Indigo tha, I performed for around 1,000 people. It was a 1,000-seater auditorium. मेरे से एक दिन पहले बस से आके perform करके गया था. He charged 8 lakh for it. मेरे को 8 रुपए भी नहीं दिए. But so I have a friend in IIT Bombay. She still studies there, so she invited me there. Ki aaja, and she said ki perform for 15 minutes. That's it. I went on stage. It was full. The auditorium was full, around 1,000 people. By the time my 15th minute, by the time I was about to finish my set, there were more than 1,500 people.
Wow.
They were sitting on the stairs. पूरा ऐसा खड़े हैं, पूरा स्टेयर्स पे बैठे, भर गए लोग, आने जाने की जगह नहीं है, but crowd packed. And I was like, I said, this is my last bit. I'm like, I'll be leaving. And then they all started shouting, no, keep going.
Okay.
I initially was supposed to perform for 15 minutes. I did for good 38, 40, 42 minutes. And still they were like, and keep going, no, keep going. And I'm looking at her, she's standing downstairs, and I'm like, they are not letting me. But that's the best feeling ever for an artist, that people want you to be there and just keep performing. That's the best feeling, and I relived that day a number of times. That's the best thing ever.
Wow, I think I can see that excitement in your eyes and how that day would have been for you. So that was about your experience at Mood and how everything went well. What about a day when things were not right and you had to face that eerie silence? Any such experiences?
Yeah, that's part of every comedian's journey. You see YouTube, you feel that this is the funniest guy on earth. No, it's not like that. I have seen Pussy being dead silence. I have seen Zakir performing for 30-35 people, and everyone is literally started typing on their phone because they were that bored. It's not that they are bad. It's just how this profession is. It's just how this art form is. Every joke, you have to write it from the scratch. You have to start it from the scratch, and it's a totally new journey. And also with stand-up comedy as an art form, it's not like singing and dancing. आप singing घर पे आप अकेले perform करो, आप बिल्कुल perfect हो जाओगे. आप dance करो, आप 6 महीने dance करो, आप अकेले dance करो, आप perfect हो जाओगे. With comedy, it's like you can only be perfect when you have an audience. आप अकेले में हो ही नहीं सकते perfect. So you have to write down the jokes, you have to figure out all your thoughts, process it, and then organize it. आपको लगता है कि यार इससे funny thought आ ही नहीं सकता. You take that thought on stage, you deliver that thought, and people are dead staring into your eyes कि ये क्या है? And then you realize कि shit, what was funny for me, it's not funny for them. So you have to keep going back on stage, you have to keep hitting the stage, keep doing open mics, and then that's how you develop the whole set. So it happens with every comedian, and it is a very ups and downs kind of thing. So every day, I personally take every day as a new day. No matter how good I kill, I forget it कि ठीक है हो गया खत्म. No matter how bad I do, I again forget it कि वो तो भूलता ही हूँ मैं कि भाई ये नहीं याद रखना.
Obviously.
So that's how it is.
And one last question for you, Rejoy, is there are a lot of stand-up comedians who are still struggling, who are still juggling, and they are trying to become what they're trying to become. So do you have any message or any suggestions for our struggling stand-up comedians?
I am that struggling stand-up comedian. But on a serious note, keep hitting the stage, keep going on open mics. That's how you do. So yeah, just keep hitting.
So keep exploring, keep hitting the stage.
Yeah. Just never shy away from open mics. So open mics are the worst thing to happen for a art form as stand-up comedy, but then it is what it is. You have to be there, you have to do it, you have to grind there to reach the other part where you become a ticket seller.
True. So when are we getting to see you live next?
Yeah, hopefully not in Hyderabad, but yeah, if whenever I'm in Mumbai or probably Bangalore, I have good friends there who will accommodate me any day if I tell them that I want to do a show.
Thank you so much, Rejoy, for coming here and being so candid in sharing your journey. And to our audience, we'd like to thank all of you for keenly listening to this podcast. We'd request you all to go to Rejoy's YouTube profile and his Instagram profile and follow him, subscribe, watch his funny stand-up acts, and do like the videos and comment. Stay tuned for our next podcast, which is going to be released very soon. On that note, okay, cut.
Roll, continue.
Okay.